HermitCraft Season Next bonus stream 1 hour brainstorming session for Friday, December 24th, 2021. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. No, we're just getting started. Let's go ahead and play a song real quick while I get all the chats set up. Here's one I wrote, performed by my brother Sean. Parody of Big Rock Candy Mountain that I'm particularly fond of.
One evening as the sun went down and our cooking coals were glowing, down the path came a party hiking, and they said, folks, we're all going. We're yearning for a portal far away in a tavern full of shouting. So join us, friends, and let's descend deep into Under Mountain, deep into Under Mountain. There run dungeons hot and cold, where the monsters surge and pushes, and the youngest runes are old, where the mimics all lie waiting, and the goblin werebats roost, all the wisps and wasps and the mezzo-lost, the hidden pit where we'll all plummet deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, all our blades will sing like choirs, as our arrows strike like drum beats, and our green flame pops and pyres. Our barbarian will stomp a brood as the rogues dance shadow play. Oh, we're sworn to go at a great tempo. We'll chant our spells as we now delve deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, you'll always find new gear, and your old mundane accoutrement can be handed down, don't fear. The magic items you'll attune and the artifacts you'll find. There's armor with gems and weird potions and a propeller hat that lets you ascend deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, the mad wizard stood gates so folks can open portals. He left clues to activate. He has a thing for puzzles and he likes to throw his voice. We're going to delve to where he dwells, to the lowest tower, to seek his power deep into Under Mountain. I'll see you there, the lowest lair, deep into Under Mountain.
Oh, apparently I've been muted for a while. I've been muted for a good long while. So wait, did y'all didn't hear any of that? Y'all didn't hear any of that at all. Wow. Okay. We have created a super flat creative world for brainstorming the next season of HermitCraft. Now, I have a few concepts. We're gonna, I haven't figured out how I want to organize this yet. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a concept wall. Okay. Of, like, big ideas. Like, a big idea wall. And we're going to put signs on there with, like, concepts, right? So, we have the concept of a garden of electrical components. That is kind of part one of my base, right, for next season. And I want to build a garden of electrical components, and I want to build it around a pinball machine mega base. And the scale of that pinball machine mega base would have to fill 2 maps, so that you could also view it. Werewolf Zombie says, why are you calling the HermitCraft season next? Because it's whatever the next one is called. We don't know the name of it yet. Or at least I don't. Do you? Like, Winamp jumped from Winamp 3 to 5. Windows jumped from Windows 8 to 10. Now they're on 11. So, I mean, who knows what the next season's going to be called, you know? I've seen a lot of people being it like it might be a fractional season. It might be this, it might be that. I don't know. It's not my job to figure out the name of the season. It's my job to figure out what I'm going to do in that season. But you know what? I'm realizing, first off, I'm going to want a starter house. But I'm also going to want a... I liked the resupply crew thing. Respawn area resupply. I felt like that wasn't just a good idea for one season. I felt like that was a good idea in general. Right? So let's maybe start breaking some of these ideas out into other signs as well. But this is kind of just our big thing here. So, resupply area, or respawn area resupply, a starter house, and I want an early game shop this season. Having the flower shop super early so that people could buy flowers from us right away was really helpful, I felt. And so I like in other seasons I build my shops way later, or I have in the past. Is there anything that y'all think people would be especially likely to need in the early game? Yeah, the resupply station is going to be great with the new world height, because if people are out exploring, they might fall to their deaths. Already, Bone Bellows, thank you for stopping in. Oh, also, I should mention, tips are welcome via paypal.me/showhills and YouTube Super Chat. Charcoal, horses, books, netherite. You know, doing a netherite shop early would be funny, because I could do that with the beds. People are saying books, definitely books. Are books a big early game thing? So the thing is, books usually are done by somebody who runs a villager trading shop. Potions. So I don't want to do enchanted books because I don't want to do villager trading. That's like the least interesting part of the game for me. And it's not like, oh, it's a challenge and I should challenge myself. It's like, it's just not fun. And then the video will be bad because I won't be having fun. So here's what we're going to do. Is we're going to take one of these ideas and we're going to break it out over here. Let's break this this overall area. Like basically we've got like 3 columns here. And so we've got like opening like I want to say early game, but like also like opening game. Sell diamonds. Okay, I like this diamond shop idea. Golden carrots could be an option, suggests NJ. That usually goes to somebody who has a gold farm. Selling diamonds is something that I haven't seen done. What would I sell them for? Selling emeralds. Usually that's going to be something somebody who has like a farm with people would do. Ender pearls are an early game thing. A deep slate shop. Honestly, opening a copper shop. We're probably going to burn through copper again pretty quick. I could sell diamonds for copper and copper for diamonds. Okay. So, let me review. Wool farms are an easy one. Supplies you with beds for the netherite. That's not a bad idea. Okay. So one of the first things I need to do, I think, is I need to break this into three. Excuse me. Break this into 3 walls. And so let's go ahead. Ooh, we can actually use the different copper for kind of the stage of the game that we are planning, right? So we'll have our big ideas on this wall here. And then we can come over. Actually, here. Let's build kind of a timeline here. So this is a 3x4, right? So then we'll come this way by 3 blocks, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is going to be our early game, or opening game. So this is like first 2 weeks. Right? And then over here, this is going to be... We're going to remove that. This right here is going to be our overview. Done. And what we can do here is we can put... So this would be like finale. So this is season opens. Early, mid game. Let's just say mid game. Late game. And then this would be finale. Honey and Wax Farm is interesting. Yeah, Cleo did that last time, though, so I don't know if I want to just do that right away. Hey, it looks like we got some tips rolling in. Well, actually, hey, thank you very much. It's just 1, but I appreciate it nonetheless, because it is for a full face camera expansion and change. 25 rolling in from Laura. Thank you so much, Laura. That puts us 15 away from the next expansion after this one. Howdy, y'all. Crow Hills here, expanding as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Dee-da-dee-da-dee. Okay. So, y'all, this world isn't just going to be signs. This is going to be, like, our creative mode testing world. But, okay, so, opening game. So, we've got resupply, starter house, shop. Let's actually theme these. Here. Actually, what is a nice contrast block here? Let's try some acacia wood, maybe, or birch. Yeah, let's do some strip birch logs here. Boop. Because that goes well with the signs. So we have up here spawn, resupply. So we're going to immediately need lights, defenses, we're going to need food and tools. But what should it look like, and who do we work with? So I can put out a general request to the hermits to say, hey, would anyone like to help me with this season? And so there's usually 2 things I try with stuff like this. I try to reach out to one person in particular, so that way I know that I've got like an anchor person that I can work with on a project like this. And in this last season, I reached out to Pearl because she was new. and I reached out to Jem about a different project. But I wanted to ask each of the new people to do one thing in particular with me in the early game so that they could feel included, you know? And then, so I asked Pearlescent Moon to in particular help me. And then I said to the general server, hey, if anybody has some free time, doesn't know what they want to do on day one of the server, you're welcome to help Pearl and I. And then Isuma was the person who bit on that. But we could have had 5 people. It would have been fine. Alberic, Tips 5, who says, once again at work, love the finale, Merry Christmas. Thank you, Alberic. Merry Christmas to you as well. That puts us 10 away from the next Face Camera expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Just as a reminder, this is kind of a short stream. I'm trying to get, like, all the work stuff out of my head before I go do family stuff, basically. HHH meetup spot. You know, that was actually a good idea, too. Like, we had a, I built a take free stuff, like, communal supply, for all season /HHH. Probably needs a portal to get to the nether. Portal, slash tunnels. Okay. So then over here, starter house and early game shop. So I almost feel like I should have, excuse me. I almost feel like I should try something here where we alternate dyes or something. So that way, these aren't all completely gonna... To make it clear that these are columns, basically. Starter house. Now, I could just live at resupply, but that seems kind of not cool. But if that's going to be a bigger project this year... But, you know, let's talk about that resupply thing. What could be better? Mailroom is a good suggestion from Aviva. Okay, so let's say portal. Mailroom is a good idea. What are other things that we could put? Yeah, Noose suggests a post office. Yeah, what are other things that we could suggest for the resupply area as just a center of town? Bulletin board. Having beds. I think we put beds in the earlier list. So the thing is, the post office should probably be its own building, really. So I need to start making a list of early game opportunities, maybe. So we would have like road layout, road decoration, post office. Is a post office basically a message board? Kind of, maybe. Community message board. Community area around spawn. Is this becoming a spawn village? Maybe. I don't know. We're brainstorming. World map. Ooh, giant map. Map building. Communal resource building. We're just trying to think, if the resupply egg was more than just an egg, what would it have been? This is all brainstorming. We have no idea what is going to work, what's not going to work. Build the Groundhog Day room motel for the spawn area. That's actually pretty funny. Okay. Okay, I'm actually putting these in a separate notes text file now. And hey, it looks like we just got another tip rolling in. Thank you very much to Mr. Hardlock for the 40, who says, your streams and community have been a real gift to us the past 2 years. I'm personally grateful for getting to be such an active part of them. Merry Christmas and or Happy Saturday to one and all. Well, that is going to get us 2 face camera expansions, so here we go. Expand Joe, do-do-do-do. Numero dos, Joe grows, do-do-do-dee. Alright, so thank you, Mr. Hardlock. That puts us still 10 away from the next face camera expansion. Whoops, that is the text I just copied and pasted there. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay, and this is a quick brainstorming stream just to get ideas out of my head before I spend time with my family, so I'm not just thinking about this the whole day. So I don't want to live at the resupply. So I think I want a starter house. I could do revisit old season house. Revisit prior. Like I could rebuild one of my old houses from an earlier season as a starter house. And because I already would have designed it, it wouldn't take as long the second time. Like I've got the house, so let's see, we've got Field of Dreams house from season 4. My starter house from season 1 is that jungle bungalow thing. That would look too weird in a city. Praxi says, I love the season map on season 6. Season 6, I was kind of a nomad, so I didn't really build a house. Season 5, I built the death house, and I had kind of a cave. I did have a few houses there, but nothing really felt right there. Drew Went says you could live in an arcade. Well, that's kind of my mega base, is a pinball machine. So I kind of like the idea of... I like the idea of having a starter house that's actually a house. And having it be something from a prior season to be like, oh, y'all can go back in time and check these out. You know, that's cool. In season 2... my house, my starter house for the first half of the season was, what was it? It was one of those ancient wonders of the world. It was like, I made Greek columns with water. Soothing L.E. or Isle, or whatever. Thank you so much for the 10, who says, Merry Christmas Eve, Joe, from the Forks. Well, thank you, Soothing Forks, for that. That puts us evenly at our next face camera expansion. So here we go. It's time to expand Joe. Do. Alrighty. And so bum. So I'm honestly, the Field of Dreams house or the Death House. The Death House is really intended to be a townhouse though. So I did the Cheers house, mini castle Ravenloft. That would be too big. I mean, the big problem with my season 1 starter village house is I didn't even design that. That was built by either Hypno or Generic Bee or Biffa. They basically built a bunch of little starter homes for people to move into when they joined the server. So they just gave me a house when I showed up. So it is kind of iconic, but it's not really my design, but neither is Death House or the Field of Dreams house. Will I include a new Gratitude Grotto next season? Yep, that is actually something. Let's go back to the board here. So by the end of the finale, we actually do need the Patreon monument. And maybe I will actually start on that on time this year. But Larry Eberhardt says work with Rendog. A mini Parthenon. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Sees one house. Mini Parthenon. Did I finish this season's Gratitude Grotto? Yeah, I did. Rework the season 1 design to make it more my own. Yeah, that would be really a cool throwback for people. So if people want to see what my season 1 house looks like, I don't think I've got... Okay, wait, can I do time, set, day here? So my season 1 house... How do I open the... I think I'd have to download the season 1. Because I don't have it on this computer. HermitCraft season 1 world download. Okay. It's 1.1 gigabytes. And it is going slowly. Show in folder. So we're gonna let that go for a minute. Find it in a YouTube vid. Well, the thing is, though, I'd actually like to be able to fly around it. So, a mini Parthenon is still pretty big. The Extremist says, what are my PC specs? It actually has 2020 vision. I'm the one with the specs, which are green, obviously, as you can tell. Starter house as gatehouse to future project. Well, the thing is, because this is an exploration update, I think what I want to do is kind of have a base camp house type of thing. I want to have a base camp dwelling or lodge or something near the resupply. No, not necessarily part of it. Because I'm going to be dying and going back to spawn sometimes when I explore, right? I might put a bed down somewhere in the middle of the wilderness exploring and get blown up by a creeper. And so, what are the things that I'm going to do this season? I don't know if the whole server is going to do this or not, but I'm not going to know the seed or pre-explore, even if everybody else decides they want to know the seed, which they might not. I really want to be able to just explore the world without knowing where stuff is, right? And so that means I need a place that I can build, since I won't have picked an area. Like Cleo and I had already picked our flower forest. Ooh, the Evil Dead cabin would be a good one to do. That's a strong suggestion. HC1 house, mini Parthenon, Evil Dead cabin. But we could upgrade it and make it cheerful again or something. Priority for you is getting an ender chest. That's a good point, but like what I'm saying is I need a base of operations I need an actual real starter house near spawn. Because a build that works in any biome. Yeah, so it needs to be relatively simple. Leather boot shop for powdered snow. Oh, that's interesting. That's a good suggestion. Okay, so it looks like HermitCraft 1.zip has downloaded. So I'm going to save and quit to title real quick. I'm going to go to single player. And in order to... How do I put a world in here? I have to like go to my world folder. Is there a way to... View open backups folder, open world folder. Here we go. That didn't open a folder. Oh, there it is. It's up there. Okay. So saves, and then we're going to copy this hermitcraft.zip, or we're going to unzip it. HermitCraft 1 extract. I'm going to copy it to here. Move to saves. Okay. Oh, this is a huge, huge world. And maybe there's an iconic... Is there an iconic building in Pinball? Ooh, maybe the medieval Madness Castle. I could build a tiny model of the medieval Madness Castle as my starter home. We're going to put that on there real quick. Has the world for the next season already been made? No. And I have no idea what the seed will be or any details about it. Pinball structure like Madness Castle. What are other iconic pinball machine structures? A lot of pinball machines don't have like buildings in them like that. There's the Theater of Magic chest, but that's not like a building. And you never see the outside of the theater. I'm just trying to... There's the... I mean... Elvira's House of Horrors. Elvira's HHHOH is actually a very strong idea. Let's revisit that. That's cool because it's an actual house, but it's also iconic and visible. It's recognizable by the people who play pinball. Okay, let's go ahead and revisit that Season 1 world. So where can I find that? Is it not going to open in this version directly because it's such an old world? Or do I need to reload or refresh? It should be the oldest world in here, right? So... But it's not showing up at all. Is there actually an Addams Family Mansion in the pinball game, though? Do I have to restart Minecraft, maybe? You have to relaunch Minecraft to see worlds you added. Okay, we'll try that. So here we go. Launching Minecraft. That's why we're still setting up. We don't know what we're doing. Howdy, Merry Christmas. Welcome, other Daniel. So let's see. We have... Okay, we are 20 away from the next face camera expansion, and we got about 20 minutes of brainstorming left. Inside a Pokeball. That's not very pinball. I think the Addams Family Mansion is on the back box. Well, the thing is, building the Addams Family Mansion is kind of one of Badger Spanner's big things. And she has done several builds of that. So I feel like I'd be kind of stepping on her turf. The back box is like the backboard that has the scorn on it and the artwork. This might be way too old a world to open in this version of Minecraft. What version of Minecraft was HermitCraft 1 on? It was Minecraft version 1.5.2 when we ended. So let's try reopening Minecraft in 1.5.2. Okay, so we're gonna installations, new installation, HC1 version 1.5.2. We're gonna more options. One, there it is. Dang it. Okay. 12, well, no, we need it at 1920 x 1280. No, 1080. Yeah, that's it. Create. Okay, so let's try this. And we're going to hit play. Monster's house would be cool. Dang it, of course the game is tiny. The game did not respond to the dimensions I asked for. And it's not showing up there. And Minecraft has crashed. Okay. So, you know what? Yeah, Elvira's house is cool. She also just had a book come out. So yeah, it'd be a good... Elvira is in the zeitgeist. What about circular bumpers for a house inside the pinball machine? Well, my mega base is going to be a giant scale pinball machine, so I don't want my starter house to necessarily be that too. My PC doesn't have specs. It has perfect vision. I've already mentioned that. 2020. Going into 2021 and 2022 now, I guess. Okay. So, Windows Pinball Spaceship. I want it to feel like an early game house, though. I feel like a house is a good choice. Like, something that looks like a house. Would be good. So, honestly, Elvira's HOH house... Oh, and the window isn't showing up with the game. Capture specific window. Why is it not capturing Minecraft? Okay. Is it working now? There it is. Okay. A Discworld build would be cool. The people that sold me these parts are not paying me to promote them. You can make videos with whatever computer you want. Like, I'm running a 6-year-old graphics card, maybe 7. I've got a modern motherboard and CPU, but like, they're the wrong choice for anyone to buy except for the week I bought them because of part shortages. They were the only ones that I could get. But like, if somebody was like, why would you choose that one? It's disproportionately expensive to the quality. It's like, I know everything else was unavailable for a month. Like, anytime I tell people what kind of parts are in my computer, they get mad at me. So I'm just gonna lie. No, wait, I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. I'm just gonna tell the truth and tell you, you don't need to know. I'm just gonna be obnoxious about it because it's more entertaining. But we're not getting brainstorming done. We're not getting brainstorming done. Merry Christmas, Matthew Lavis. Hey, thank you so much for the tip that came in after the stream ended. I did indeed receive that, so I appreciate you, Matthew, and I hope you have a fantastic Christmas as well. We are doing some brainstorming for... You know what? I actually need to... I should get some deep slate out for this. I need to get, like, an actual, like, sign here. Let's come... this far forward. So I'm kind of doing it like this, where they go 3 up. And then, so we could come here. Boom, boom, boom. HermitCraft season next. Brainstorming flat world. Boom. Looking good. And we could do some green there too, or lime if we wanted. Make it unreadable. We're gonna need the glow ink for that. Oops. Glow ink, glow ink, glow ink, it glows. Boom. Glow and behold. Overview. Oh, that's terrible. Gloverview. Haha. Okay. Cloudus Power says, how about a house shaped like a pinball machine? Or has that already been suggested? That's going to be my late game mega base, is going to be a pinball machine. So I want my early game starter house to be something more simple. So we're representing the different stages of the game with kind of a timeline of copper here. So season opening, mid game, late game, finale. And honestly, I should probably have this board be way bigger. Maybe twice as big. So this is currently 4 across. Whoops, that's wrong. How about something from Wolfenstein? I don't really have too much of a personal attachment to it. I mean, I played it when I was a kid, but something from Doom or Quake. Something from Quake would feel more personal, but, like, there's not a lot of, like, homes in Quake. And I really want it to feel like a house. That's why I like the Elvira's House of Horrors suggestion. Yeah. Beebles says, I've had the same PC for nearly 30 years. It started off as a 486, and I've replaced every single part at least twice, including the case. Yep, that's the PC of Theseus right there. Okay, let me check my... I realized I was looking in the HermitCraft chat. Hey, Leo. Hey, Juniper Williams. I don't want to do something like the No Wings Club to start. I like the challenges of the season to kind of be emergent. Hey, Becca says, happy holidays and tips 13. Thank you so much, Becca. Appreciate you supporting the show. Hope you have a fantastic Christmas Eve and a wonderful holiday season. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. When was the last Ravenloft build you made? I did the church. I've done a few Ravenloft builds. I think the church was the most recent, though. That might have been 2 seasons ago. That can't be the most recent. I don't want to do the Addams Family house because Badger Spanner always builds the Addams Family houses and her SMPs, and that would look like I was stealing her layout, because honestly, she has already solved all the problems you would have to solve to build the Addams Family house well in Minecraft, and so I would look like a moron by trying to resolve all those problems from scratch when probably the world's expert in building the Addams Family house is 10 meters away, but I would feel bad just stealing all of those solutions too. So, yeah. So not doing Addams Family. I do think Elvira's House of Horrors might be good. Building the Ryman. The Ryman is too big to be a house. I'm talking about, like, I literally want my starter house to be a house. A Cabin in the Woods cabin, or Evil Dead cabin, is a house. The Field of Dreams house is a house. The Death House from Ravenloft is a house. Yeah. So I've already built the Death House once, so I could rebuild it way quicker. But yeah. So I'm a Bob Ross house. I don't know what Bob Ross's house looks like, but it doesn't have any personal meaning to me. Hey, welcome, Cheesiest. Glad you could join us. We have got about 10-15 minutes of brainstorming left in us here. So let's talk about community projects, maybe, or you know what? Let's do let's leave more room for starter house here. I should have given these more space. First shop. Okay, we had talked about copper for diamonds for copper. The idea being anybody who has extra diamonds can trade them for copper, or extra copper can trade them for diamonds. Hey, howdy, Bear. This is not a stream tonight. This is a stream this morning. This is a bonus stream, because I've got like a billion ideas about the next season bouncing around in my head, and I need to get them out so that I can just go enjoy the holidays with my family. This is kind of a like, exhale stream. This is a clear your mind stream. Game rule, do daylight cycle false. A classified board, that's a good idea. It's not a shop, but We'll put classified board there for now. Classified board, mail room, roads, lighting. Okay. Chroma key room. Yeah, we could have a green screen room. What about a full trading place instead of just copper? It was all the different valuable blocks. Well, we could start it. We could start it with copper and then go from there, maybe. Sweet Potato says, I would love you to build a very nice, creative, modern house that has several colors of concrete and glass. See, I don't really like modern houses for a starter house. Like, I like starter homes to feel like they're made of, like, natural, local materials. And, like, the modern stuff with all the concrete and glass always feels kind of something too much. I don't know. It feels... Honestly, I think part of it is that I've never lived in a modern building myself. I've always lived in... like, I don't know, more traditional houses. Like, one of the houses I grew up in was built in, like, the 1920s and was, like, wood and brick, you know, and the other ones, like, were a little bit, like, more like 1980s, 1990s construction, but they weren't like... They were never like, oh, this is a concrete and glass Frank Lloyd Wright type thing. You know, I want it to feel like a home to me, because, like, when I'm in there and I'm making the videos and the episodes, I want it to feel like I'm comfortable, you know? So brutalism, yeah, is fine for other things. It's just not what I'm thinking for the starter house. Mystery Shack from Gravity Falls is actually that's a really interesting choice, Aiden. That's closer to what I'm thinking. I don't know that the proportions of it would work. Albrecht says something local to Nashville. The problem is a lot of the cool houses around here were owned by people who were vicious slave owners, and I don't want to celebrate any part of their legacy. So that's out. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. The Up House. That's an interesting one. Like, I mean, I enjoyed Up, but it wasn't so iconic for me, like, when I was a kid. I'd almost rather do something from my youth, you know? Like, Up wasn't around when I was a kid, but, like, Hook was. I'd be more likely to build the townhome from Hook than the house from Up, just because of the timing. You know what I mean? Or the house from Jumanji. Although that's like a mansion. Like, that'd be way too big. The Home Alone house, also very iconic, but maybe too big. But you know what? Like we're on the right track here. Home Alone, Jumanji. Why not create something more original rather than something from an existing franchise? I mean, I'm all for creating something more original. I'm trying to get a sense of the feel first, if nothing else. But one of the ideas of doing something that's like the Elvira's House of Horrors house is, I like that because it actually ties into the pinball stuff later in the season, because we're going to have the pinball machine mega base later. And so building the Medieval Madness Castle or the Elvira's House of Horrors house would really be good. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles subway station base. I'd rather do something above ground. Goonies ship is cool. A house from Beetlejuice. Oh my gosh. Why did we not... Beetlejuice house. That's a very strong... That's a very strong suggestion there, Scoot Snack. the fun thing about that too is we could start it off at the like base with like the have it be more traditional looking. Why didn't we think of that sooner? Says NJ. Duh, says Daniel. Top tier contender, says Cavman. That's the thing, is this is why we sit here and we say we're gonna do a brainstorming session. Because sometimes the best idea doesn't come up until 15 minutes in. And you could make a model of HermitCraft in the attic. You know, I could actually have a map table with the... I could have a map table. I could put a map of the town or whatever is around the house on the table in the attic. Cheesia says, would that be the original house before the owners died or the ones with ridiculous modern additions? I was thinking I would do it as the original, and then maybe for Halloween do an episode where we upgrade it to the modern additions terrifying version, right? That would be cool. So that way, that's the other thing, is I like the idea of a starter house that's simple enough to build at the beginning, but then we revisit it partway through the season and like level it up. And this Beetlejuice house changes during the film. So that's really, it's a great idea with a lot of options. It doesn't have the pinball tie-in. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do some research and I'm going to look through a bunch of pinball machines. Because, like, honestly, this Beetlejuice house, maybe this might be a project that's too cool to be the starter house. Like, part of the goal of the starter house is to, like, get it done in one episode. And the Beetlejuice house might be too big, right? It might be too cool to do for one episode. So maybe this is just a Halloween multi-episode, like, arc, right? Aviva says, are there any iconic-looking arcades out there might fit with the pinball theme? Not really, unfortunately. There was the Pinball Museum shut down, and it looked kind of ugly. It was like a Vegas. A lot of pinball arcades are in like, this is an old warehouse, or this isn't a mall. You know what I mean? What if the starter house is just a really tall bush? But yeah, the Beetlejuice house, this is maybe too good an idea to use for the starter house, but still worth doing later in the season. And this is the sort of stuff, this is the benefit of brainstorming stuff like this now, is like you say like, okay, I'm going to try to solve one problem, but like this actually solves my, what do I do for October problem? What's my Halloween problem? You know what I mean? Like Flynn's Arcade from Tron. I'm not really I've actually never seen Tron. And honestly, I feel like Disney gets enough free promotion for their stuff. I really kind of don't want to do anything Disney if I can avoid it. It's, I don't know. I hate that they keep buying everything. It's annoying to me. I don't think there are any iconic houses in the Matrix because everybody like lives in an apartment or in a spaceship. The Flintstones house. That's a pretty iconic house. Ooh, the Parasite house is very modern, but it also like doesn't work. There was a big thing about how it was supposed to be designed by this mad architect, and like the house like doesn't actually, like, if you tried to connect all the rooms and stuff, it doesn't actually work right, I think, because it's built like on a, like, the interior of that house is on a soundstage in a weird, it's meant to be a weird house. Ooh, maybe the Malignant house. That's a weird house that's actually like structurally functions though. The Yoshi starter house from Super Mario World. That's a fun one, retrospects. That's a strong. The house from Gremlins, Police Box house. Nugget says, "Well, my glasses are fire." Actually, right now they're green flame. But yeah, we're getting some good ideas here. So we'll come back to the starter house. For the first shop, we've got copper for diamond for copper. But you know what, people? So I want to, if I'm going to set up like an early game farm, I want that to be resupplying the resupply thing, even if it's not an egg. Yellow House from A Christmas Story. I don't want to do a Christmas thing for the whole season. I actually haven't played Ocarina of Time. I didn't actually get into the 3D Zeldas until Breath of the Wild. I was honestly, the Breath of the Wild house. The Breath of the Wild house might be a good choice because I like Breath of the Wild a lot. Rocket shops are always a moneymaker. Yeah. I don't know what a Moochie house is. Oh. I had an idea to maybe do a Ben Franklin house or workshop thing. Anthony Mouse says, when is HermitCraft returning? Soon! I actually need to, like, write that on something. Hold on. Look. Let's get the notebook out here. And here we go. Let's get the pencil out here. One second while I write. HermitCraft is returning soon. Do. So there you go. Oh, you know what? We need the air quotes around it. Soon. I'm going to be saying that for a long time. So I might as well have a good sign for it. Okay. The house from Terminator. Haven't seen Terminator. Howl's Moving Castle. I'm not allowed to say soonish. The group agreed we're only allowed to say soon. Soonish would be right out. House from Scary Movie 2. That's an interesting one, but I don't think that's what I want to do as a starter house. Honestly, the thing I like about the Breath of the Wild house is it's really compact because, like, I don't want my starter house to have a huge footprint, and some of these houses, like the Field of Dreams house and the Home Alone house, are like too big to be the starter house, right? But yeah. I haven't seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So here's the thing. There's a bunch of movies I haven't seen because people are like, oh, it's a great movie, but you really need to sit down and watch it. But that's not how I watch movies. I watch movies while I'm, like, doing dishes with them on my phone. That's the only time I have usually to watch things. I don't have time to just sit down and watch a film start to finish very often. And so, like, the better a movie is, the less likely I've seen it because people have told me, oh, you've got to watch this straight through. Just sit down and watch it. And I'm like, okay, it'll go in the list, and then I'll see it eventually. Golden Girls house. Yeah. The House from the House movies. House. The Malcolm in the Middle house. That's a good suggestion. Maybe, actually, maybe something from... Is there a iconic house from Better Call Saul? Like Chuck's house. That's the thing, is, like, if I'm gonna make a reference to a show, I love the idea of it being, like, just something that's... I haven't seen SpongeBob. We didn't have cable at that when it came on. We had cable when I was very little, and then we moved somewhere that the cable was way more expensive for less channels, and my dad was like, I'm never paying for cable again. And he didn't. So, or maybe he did, I don't know. But he didn't while I lived there. Walt's house is too boring. I'd want it to be like a cool house. Yep, Mystery Shack has come up, but I don't think it works in 3D. Okay. The Blues Clues house. Yeah, that's it. We'll do the Blues Clues house. Okay, so y'all, we have just hit the 1 hour mark. Thank you. We got some really good ideas here. I think some of the ideas we're definitely gonna do. I'm really sold on this copper for diamonds thing. And what it might be that we end up taking one of these building designs and turning one of these buildings into the shop, right? So maybe we put the copper for diamonds in the medieval madness castle. That makes no sense. Or something. But we use like the Breath of the Wild house, or we use the Breath of the Wild house for copper for diamonds, but then we build something else. Ooh, the Rick and Morty house is recognizable. But yeah. So let's go ahead and see what's going on out there in the broader world. I feel like I've gotten enough stuff out of my brain, but I gotta go start getting ready for family stuff. I'm not dressed, as you can tell. Let's see what is going on there out in the world. It looks like our friend Impulse SV is playing some HermitCraft. Or no, he's not playing HermitCraft. He's talking about HermitCraft. Hey, we were just doing some of that too. So let's go ahead and raid Impulse SV, because I know that y'all are interested in HermitCraft planning. He might be an enjoyable view. So when you get over there, say howdy, y'all. Joe Hills Raid here. And until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do-do-do-do.